Okay. This morning, well, yesterday, let's start yesterday. Yesterday we drove up this road. Only goes about 3/8 of a mile. Landing at the end. A small buck and a doe and a big buck all went up the hill. And it was fresh in the evening the night before. So we're up here about noon. So I start walking up it yesterday, just scouting. And the deer went up in there about a quarter mile and kept going, all three of them. There's some older big buck tracks that have been around, made a couple of rubs, you know, usual. So we drive back out this morning, we come back, and we just start up the road, and there's a fresh buck track going across and going down in the bottom into crap. And I thought, well, he's back. So we drive farther up the road, and there's a fresh track going across and up on top of my tracks last night, yesterday about noon. So I'm thinking, well, he came down and went back up, and he's back up in them same woods again, because it's a track on top of my track. So I took that one. Turns out it's a dead loop, and he's really the first track we came across is the fresh, and it goes down in the crap where I didn't want to go, but we're back to about, I don't know, 10:30, 11. So back down in the junk. I didn't really want to go in the junk, but it would make sense that he would be down in there during the day. So he's a road warrior. What a pain. He did rub his horns once, and he's checked out some old rubs he made, so went by him, so it's the same deer. Bailed off that buck that I had earlier, even though I think he's still right in this spot right here, because there's the giant. The boys kind of scouted this spot out. It's a big, kind of swampy mess. But Mr. Rogers is in the neighborhood. Nice big fat foot. Oh, he's a beauty. Gotta think what Mr. Rogers used to say. Welcome, I guess. As you can see, we got some snow. I have to keep the camera indoors because it's snowing so hard. Well, we found the monster I was chasing yesterday, and he's got looks like a doe with him. And he's going uphill, and Jimmy and I are going to shoot him. He's right here. Don't even dare to slam the car door because it's fresh and he's right here. It's really crawling around in the junk, and we're just going to get him out of here somehow. Okay, the buck across the road we were parked on again. I can't tell it's snowing so hard if we drove over it or if you walked on it fresh, I don't know. But it's filling in the track pretty as fast as we can go, so Jimmy went back to the rig, and I'm going to take the track and just go as fast as I can and hope I can do something. Bitch, I can't keep the scope clean. If I'd been thinking, I'd have grabbed Casey's pump. But anyway, either way, it's just me and Jimmy today. Gonna do what we can. The freaking snow is just getting deep. But I'm just gonna try and go as fast as I can and see what happens. Okay, round two. Went back to camp. Got brand new clothes on. Thanks for the jacket, Taylor. And gonna do some peeling in, see if we can work him over. He's kind of going easy. He's in the bottom here, and Jimmy's out in front of me about a quarter mile or more, so maybe, we'll see. He's going kind of easy.
See how big that bed is right there? When your gun fits in the bed, it's a big deer. Pretty sure that was Rodney just shot. We've been on a buck all day. And with any luck, he connected. Track goes right towards the shot, so he kept swinging that around me. And I'm thinking we got a deer down. Let you know in a little bit.
It worked. He just came right up to me. I couldn't film it because he was coming right at me.
Did you get him?
We did it, Jimmy. I got him. He come running right up through the woods, right to me.
All right, I'll be along. All right, Rodney, you got her done. Congratulations, Rodney.
Wow, that was fast. That last shot, he went right end over end. What a big boy. Oh, he's a big boy. I think Jimmy got him up and he came right to me. Oh, that worked out good. Boy, that'd have been a nice one on the camera, man. There was one little open spot and he come right up through it. Ain't that a big son of a gun? He is a beauty. What a nice one. Good thing we came back. We've been following this buck all day. I followed him yesterday for quite a while and I just couldn't catch him, and he kangarooed away, and so Jimmy and I went back today. It snowed 6 inches, 8 inches last night. It's a lot of snow, and the bugger come up through across the road, and I followed him, and I followed him till about noon, and then I was soaking wet, and I got him up 3 different times, and I didn't think he knew what I was. And then he swung out around and dropped back down towards the road. He crossed the road, and Jimmy tried to get in front of him, and then finally I'm like, we got to leave him alone for a little bit, and I'm soaking wet. So Jimmy and I went back to camp. We had a little something to eat. I put on Taylor's jacket and his clothes. We got back up here. It was 2 o'clock when we left camp, so it must have been 2:30 when we started back in on the track again. I started the track. Jimmy took over, cut me off, and came down in the bottom. I got down in, I cut Jimmy off again, but I left the track right there, and I put an arrow for him to keep going, and I swung out about 400 yards, and he come right up the hill to me. Oh, it's a big one. What a beauty. That's a beauty. That's a big Maine buck right there. Nice big Maine buck. Good thing we came back out. We almost didn't go back out, and I'm like, well, you don't get him on a couch. Let's get back out there. Just keep going. And then to see him coming up through the woods, what a sight. I can hear Jimmy coming. I'll turn my other camera on.
So what he did, I just came through right there, and I went down through there, and there's a big cliff right there. It's that big cliff. Don't look like it on the camera. And he went to the back side of the cliff, and he laid down right up there. And I was coming up the back, and he was laid down up there, and he came down through here, and there's his track going up through there, and Rodney was up there, and Rodney got him. So we're gonna go see what he looks like. There's this running track right up through there, and I can see Rodney. That deer thought he was smart today, but we outsmarted him. Oh, look at them horns. I'm naming him Jerk because he's a jerk. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What a big buck. Ain't that thing quick?
Look at that.
Ain't that a beauty?
And we didn't think he had a lot on his head.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a big body on that thing. Oh, he's a beauty. Them hooves are big. Yes.
Oh yeah, them horses are big.
Yeah. Unreal.
That was the thing to do, would keep hooking me. I see a little smiley face and arrows in the snow over there.
Yeah, I left it in the snow for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote 10-4 right beside him.
Oh, no kidding. as soon as I see you started in the bottom, I said, well, I'll go out there, and I saw the big trees in here. There's huge trees.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'll swing out around 400 yards, and swing around and look for the good woods. And then if I bump him, he'll go right back down the track to you, or if you bump him, he'll come right up to me. And we'll just keep kind of pinching him, looking to pinch him. And I'm like, meh, and it feels like, meh, and then I'm coming down the hill, and I'm saying, boy, I should be closing the gap. It should be any time now. I look up, and I see, boom, I see big dark movement. And then it steps up a little bit more. And I said, oh, it's a deer. And I saw this, right? It's sticking right up. And he comes a little closer, and he steps out around the tree, and he looks right at me. And I'm like, oh. And by then, so I'm almost squeezing on his neck. And then he put his head and he walked right into the hole. I said, okay, right in the front of the shoulder. He's quartering towards me, and I put it right in his front shoulder. And he came up through here, just kind of hopping pretty good. And he's right in the scope, beautiful. And I'm like, well, shoot him again. Boom. And I hit him like right here. And he went right there, and his horns dug right into the ground.
Yeah.
And he kicked right up in the air. And look at the dance he did.
Oh, yeah. He did the dead deer dance.
He went way up in the air, and then kaboom, and he landed right there. Yep.
Another 8-pointer.
Yeah. Taylor was wrong about the 9
Yeah,
but
Taylor, it's an 8 again.
Yeah. Oh, he's a
But it's a freaking hog. Look at that. We've spent all day on this deer. Went home, got some dry clothes, and came back. And we almost weren't going to come back. We're going to be dragging in the dark, just so you guys know. It ain't going to be very good video. We're sorry, but
this is just the way it goes.
this deer do not like to lay down today in a
No.
good spot.
No.
And the only reason we got him this time is because there was 2 of us
Pinching him. Oh yeah.
Pinching him.
Oh yeah. If we weren't pinching him, we wouldn't have got him. He was on it and just ahead of us all the time. Just 100 yards, 100 yards, 100 yards all day long. He's like, you bugger. Yep.
So we're going to get him out and
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah. Yeah. What a beautiful buck.
Ain't going to be the truck in the daylight.
No. Yeah. What a beautiful buck. One big bugger.
One big son of a gun.
Yeah.
You can name him whatever you want. I'm calling him Jerk. 'Cause he's a jerk. Yeah.
Out through the snow, and it's just been a nightmare, Josh. It just, oh.
Do him in the afternoon, you gotta be prepared to come out in the dark. There he is. We made him in the truck. He really. There we go. 207. I thought he was bigger. He come out mean.
He come out hard.
We were in a swamp, but
No. Big bugger.
Yeah, the day you don't have the boys to help you bring it out, right?
Yeah. B-rolling.
that one yesterday was a team effort.
No question. No question. You wouldn't have got that deer any other way.
Spearheaded by myself, of course.
Hey. Just a minute. I want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the use of the coat, Taylor.
We call him Lucky Charm, right?